ಹಲೋ.
ಇದೇ ಲೈವ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? All good. So, welcome to Bangalore and welcome to InsightsIAS. So, ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ any non-Kannadigas here? Okay, good. So, in this session, so I'm going to discuss lots of things, especially mainly two aspects. One is how to crack this examination. So, how to crack this examination, what are the necessary things, fundamental things you have to do here in Bangalore at InsightsIAS. Secondly, how we are going to facilitate this success? How we are going to ensure that our resources, our faculties are at your disposal to ensure that your journey is largely stress free and also smooth, and also in a way that it is very professional also, that will feel like it is streamlined. You know what is the meaning of streamlining? That you won't feel like you are preparing haphazardly, that you are preparing without any kind of direction. You will always feel that the moment you start your preparation year, you will feel that it is going in the correct, right direction towards achieving your dream. So, month after month, you will actually feel that, you will experience at InsightsIAS, because of the lots of things we are going to do as part of the OGP, starting with daily answer writing, starting with one subject at a time, right? So, we may do two subjects parallelly, but we will not mix them. For example, 1 week geography, then 1 week polity, it is not like that. Geography, once we start, we will complete the geography till the last topic of the subject. So parallelly, if we start with the polity, so polity will also get completed. So then only we move to another subject. Only after the completion of every subject, we move to another subject. So what it will do is that you will get the confidence in each and every subject, whether it is core subject or non-core subject. So you know the difference. So core subject is those subjects which are given more weightage in the examination. They are given more weightage in the examination because those subjects are extremely important, not merely for the examination, but also for your life, your understanding of the whole world, right? Like economy, polity, history, geography, environment, science and technology. So these 6 broadly we consider them as core subject. So in addition to them, we have all the other subjects like Indian society. That is also one of the core subject, but the weightage given in the syllabus is low compared to other subjects. So then you have subjects like social justice, governance, international relations, agriculture, security issues, disaster management, and then we have ethics, and also most important paper in the entire UPSC examination, which we believe is the essay paper, right? Largely, almost every institution ignores essay as part of their foundational course, right? When we do the foundational, so the laying of the foundation. So in this program, OGP program, what we do is that we lay the strong foundation. So part of the strong foundation is also the essay paper, right? So largely many people ignore. So when you come across, forget about me, if you talk to some of the students who come back from Delhi after spending nearly 10 lakhs, staying there for 2 to 3 years, and having been to very big institution, if you just ask a single question, how many essays you wrote while you were in Delhi in 2 years? The answer will be either 0, maximum 1 or 2 essays. But at InsightsIAS, now you go back and ask OGP 1 students, right? I'm not telling everyone, we insist everyone should write, must write. But large number of people would have already written at least 5 to 6 minimum essays. The most serious students of any batch will be like somewhere around 5%, right? It is less than 5%. So out of 200, we will have 15 to 20 members, right? Very dedicated, serious aspirants who are hell bent, no matter. While I'm in Bangalore, I must crack the examination and then go back. So such kind of people would have written 10 to 15 essays already, right? So in a year, 52 weeks are there. We expect the most serious aspirant to write at least 30 to 40 essays. Once in a week we expect, but we know that every week will not be same, right? So that is how seriously we take the essay paper at InsightsIAS. Now, all of you who are sitting here, I assume that you have got a basic understanding about the examination, right? You know that there are three stages: prelims, mains, and interview. And you know that prelims, two papers are there. One GS paper for 200 marks and CSAT paper for how many marks? Say loudly, how many marks? 200, right? So to pass the CSAT paper, how many marks you need to get? 66.6 plus, right? 66.6 plus. So only after getting 66.6 plus, your GS paper 1 is evaluated, right? And then you have to cross the cutoff in the GS paper 1. 100 plus is the safest score, 90 plus is the safe score, right? Anyway, for example, this year we are predicting cutoff somewhere around 82 to 83. I mean 25 prelims. So last year it was somewhere around, what was the cutoff? 2024. 2023 it was 75.4, right? I think last year 24 it was somewhere around 86 or something, right? So the cutoff keeps varying based on the difficulty of the paper. 23 was the most difficult paper, both CSAT, even IIM people failed in the CSAT paper in 2023 CSAT paper. Those who have done MBA from IIM cracking the CAT examination, IIM Ahmedabad, Bengaluru. So such people also failed in CSAT. But then again it moderated. 24 it came down to the normal level, and we expect the similar nature in the upcoming years. 25 also it was normal. I mean anybody with basic preparation could have cracked the examination. Now, CSAT is also taken very seriously at InsightsIAS. We have a dedicated faculty. In fact, we have two faculties exclusively for the CSAT, right? So, one of them will be throughout the year, they will be taking CSAT classes, and they will be available for you to get any personal guidance. Let us say that you get a CSAT problem, you want to solve, you don't get the solution, you can come and approach CSAT faculty and get it solved. So that facility is also there at Insights IAS. And in fact, all the mentors are extremely good with the CSAT. So we hire mentors based on certain criteria. They should be good with the basic part as well as the most advanced part of the examination, including the essay guidance as well as the interview guidance, right? So every mentor will be strong with the basics, including the CSAT. And if you take essay for evaluation, they will be good with the essay part also. So from beginning to the last step of the preparation, right? So depending on your speed, right? If you're very aggressive from the day one, that you want to do everything, right? Which I don't recommend, right? It has to be slow and sustained, right? The way we build foundation must be solid, slow, incremental, and in a very sustained way. Because if the foundation is weak, right, anything you do later, right, won't be sustainable, won't be strong also. It can just fall down anytime. It can crack anytime. So the foundation is very important. So you know that there are two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. And then in paper 1 is kind of, whatever detailed subjects we have in the mains papers, right? In preliminary GS paper 1, we see the basic part of it, right? So through prelims preparation, you ensure that the basic aspects of each and every topic, each and every subject is thoroughly taken care of. In mains, we see its analytical part, and we see its application part in the mains examination. But post 2019 or 20, what UPSC started doing, even in prelims, there have been questions which require you to think analytically, right? What do I mean by thinking analytically? You have to, infer, you have to analyze, you have to apply logic, reasoning, not merely factual. So you know 4 facts. One of the fact is right or wrong. So that used to be the case. Now it is not just about the fact, it is also about the application of the concepts. Sometimes options will be so close, right? So then you have to analyze, you have to apply lots of logic. So such kind of questions may be around 10 to 15 in the prelims paper. For that, the solution is integrated preparation, right? So prelims, you should not take it as only the basics, only the basic polity, geography I will study, and then I will crack the prelims. It is not like that. So that is why OGP is integrated in such a way that entire class, when we do, let us say, polity, it is done both from the prelims and mains perspective. So for a beginner, the basics will be taught first and then simultaneously, right? If you are teaching something basic, then we expect you to write a basic answer to a basic question. And then as we move forward, there will be more open-ended questions, application-based questions. So this integrated preparation, prelims come mains. That will ensure even in prelims, you will get the difficult questions right. So every week we have both prelims test as well as mains test. So 50 questions prelim test, 10 questions mains test. What we observe, majority people write only prelims test, skip the mains test. It is psychological. So when you are preparing for entire week, you feel that you have done the basic part. And secondly, you have innately, many people come with fear of writing. I don't know why. Most of you are engineers, most of you are science graduates, some of you are medical graduates. So during the course of last 6-7 years, between your 10th standard, especially 11th, 12th, and then during the graduation time, 6 years, you wouldn't have written any answer, right? Answer in the sense, wouldn't have written anything about anything that's happening around you, about the political developments, cultural stuff, societal things that are happening, or even the technology, or even related to your own academic field. For example, if you have done BE in computer science, I don't think you wrote 250-word article or answer about artificial intelligence and its implication for employment or for the society. You didn't do that, right? Forget about writing, you didn't even think in that direction. Maybe you would have thought only from your job perspective. Am I going to get my job after the graduation? So, unfortunately, our education system, it has killed curiosity among the students across India, across all kind of educational institutions. It's a very basic necessity in the UPSC examination. You have to be very curious about everything that is happening around you. You should not restrict that curiosity only to things you like. You have to start liking everything. So you might not have liked history in your school days. You have to love it now, right? You might have hated geography in your school days. There is no other way around. You have to love it, right? You might have, coming from humanities background, you may have fear about CSAT. You may have fear about technology, right? The human mind is such a beautiful stuff. If it wills, it can learn anything. If it wills, if it has the willpower, if it wants, it can learn anything, everything. It all depends on the curiosity, liking, and then willingness, right? So by doing this, you can be from totally Kannada medium, humanities background. Anybody from Kannada medium, you can actually master English language within next 6 months. Master in such a way that even Shashi Tharoor will be ashamed of your English if you have the willpower, right? So I can actually illustrate. I've been doing this across Karnataka wherever I'm going. In my speeches, I do this small experiment, right, with the audience. So how many of you are good with the English here? Okay, good. 2 hands, 3 hands, 4, 5. Okay, now I'm going to ask one word. Can you tell me the meaning of that word? Okay. Recalcitrant. 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 ಈಗ ಯಾರ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ. What is the meaning of recalcitrant? ಎಲ್ಲರ ಹತ್ರ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? Just open your mobile phone and look at the meaning of the word. Recalcitrant. No, wrong. Good. So you're very quick. So, bear ready ikkade? Yes. Who saw the meaning? Refusing to? Very relatable, right? Huh? Resistant. Good. Not easy to control. The people with, we call stubborn, right? Recalcitrant. Any other meanings you got? It has same meaning. What we will get is synonyms, right? Recalcitrant is, yes, resistance to rules, stubborn, and don't obey authority easily, right? They want to be on their own maybe. So, okay, that is a new word. Did you learn that new word today? What was the word? Recalcitrant. Okay. So I will give you one more word, okay? Somewhere this is similar to this word only in meaning, but not entirely similar. Intransigence. 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 ಯಾವ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅದು? It's very fast, huh? Unwilling. Okay. Intransigence. Refusing. Is it just the one word or is there a sentence? To? Not willing to change one's views about something. So intransigent. So he is intransigent about something. Right? You have developed certain opinion on someone, something, some issue. You are not willing to change. Yes, you believe that God is there. Right? And I'm trying to tell you God doesn't exist. But you stubbornly believe that God is there. Then we'll call you intransigent. So you believe in something very strongly. So you're not easily changing the opinion. So Indian democracy is dying. If I say, what will you say? Yes or no? Indian democracy is dying. I'm just asking question. What is your opinion? I believe it is thriving. It is getting strengthened. I don't know your opinion. What do you think? Whatever it is. So think about it. So once you develop opinion, you have to be flexible, right? You should not be intransigent, because with time things change, right? With time our understanding also deepens, our understanding also expands, right? So we will also develop multiple perspectives. Now, recalcitrant and intransigent, right? These are the two words. So how much time it took for you to learn these two words? Less than a minute. Okay, so we had 5 minutes of conversation so far with respect to these two words. So I came up with one or two example, then I asked you a question also. I hope these two words, which two words? Recalcitrant and intransigence. So they are with you, I hope. Will they be with you? Because none of you wrote down those words. I believe you have memory of Einstein. I believe you have beautiful brain which can actually remember. Or if you don't remember, you can go back, watch YouTube, you can open maybe at 10 minutes, right? Then you can see that, oh yeah, I mean, if you've forgotten these two words. Now, you can further remember these two words by using them in your answers and by using them in your conversations, right? You can end up remembering, or you can write a story about these words. So that might require another 10, 15, 20 minutes of extra effort. So I believe in a day, minimum new 10 words you can actually learn effectively. 10 new words in English. So in a month, you can, that is half an hour to 1 hour effort. Let us say 1 hour effort. So in one month, you can learn 300. In 6 months, you can learn how many? 1,800 words. So in 8 months, around 2,000 Yeah, 2400, 2500 words. So next 10 months, you can actually remember nearly 3000 words. I'm just saying 1 hour of effort, and you don't have to consciously open dictionary and just learn the random words. The words that actually you come across in standard textbooks, in English newspapers, right? There are going to be many words, but consciously, if you can keep a separate notebook, both non-English medium and English medium students, and build your vocabulary parallel to building the knowledge base about all the subjects. Your English is going to be far superior than anybody who has studied in the best of the best international English medium schools since their nursery days. Your English is going to be far superior, because with these words, and then you will be reading lots of English stuff, listening to lots of English conversation in the class, outside the class. You will start using them, and then what happens when you start writing answers, when you start writing tests, naturally, subconsciously, these words will actually flow through your pen onto the paper in your answers. This will very naturally it will happen. I have seen merely by reading the Hindu regularly, the Hindu editorials, many people when they write essay, they will be surprised that suddenly some of these words just flash out of nowhere. They just flash contextually. You would have read, it would have been stored. But when you consciously practice and develop such kind of strong vocabulary, that is the powerful weaponry you have in this examination, right? In the essay, in all the GS papers, your answers will be distinguished not just because of the vocabulary, right? In fact, we tell you not to use technical words in your answers and essays. They must be very simple and effective. But when you go to interview, right, in general, that will give you sufficient confidence. The Hindu, if you open in any day in 365 days, if you count unique words in the Hindu newspaper, you won't be seeing more than 2000 unique words, removing all this but, if, and all, the small words. Only the unique words, I don't think there will be more than 1500 such words. So we don't put such conscious effort, right, to learn something, to add to our personality, to add to our knowledge, because of the fear. We have fear about English, we avoid. Similarly with CSAT, if you do only 2 problems every day, CSAT problems, don't wait for the CSAT classes. Take up any 1 or 2 CSAT problems, very easy problems. Go back to 2011 CSAT question paper. Just open, the questions are dead easy, right? Even those who have studied maths till the 10th standard, right, they can actually solve entire CSAT paper of 2011. Doesn't matter which background you come from, humanities, commerce, science, medical, doesn't matter. You can actually solve the paper. So take 1 or 2 questions and try to solve on a daily basis. Again, this is out of interest and out of your curiosity. And then you will see in 6 months, the fear is gone. With English fear will be gone. With CSAT, both maths and reasoning, it will be gone. And the comprehension paper, if you read standard editorials on a daily basis, you don't have to separately prepare for the comprehension paper in the CSAT paper. You will be able to understand any difficult, complicated, abstract passage they give in the CSAT paper. Sometimes they give very abstract. Abstract means not easily able to comprehend, right? It requires lots of thinking, interpretations, reasoning to arrive at certain conclusion. So even such kind of things you will be able to understand eventually. Totally depends on, in addition to what we do, what you actually go back and do on a daily basis, consistently. So it can be 2 to 3 hours of efforts. Ultimately, it is that effort which complements with what we are going to do. And it is those people who put extra effort. I would say 10% extra effort on a daily basis, right? Voluntarily taking an initiative to write an answer, visiting our website, InsightsIAS website, solving the daily quiz. You read newspaper, we provide around 10, 20 MCQs every day on the current affairs and the static quiz, just out of curiosity. You don't have to wait for anybody, the people who fail regularly are those who wait for something to get over and then begin something new. Listen to this. They are the people, they want something to complete first, finish first, and then they think they will start on their own or start something new. So let geography class get over, and then I will write geography answers, geography, solve geography MCQs. It is these people, definitely they are going to fail, right? Waiting for something to get over. Let all the coaching get over. First I'll make notes, I'll learn everything, and then I will start writing answers, right? These are the people who regularly fail. Second category, those who are obsessed with, obsession. What is the meaning of obsession? Over? Too much attachment with something or someone, right? Obsession we say. So you are obsessed with something. Too much obsession, too much attachment with something. So those who are obsessed with the outcome, right? You are already thinking you are an IAS officer, like you want to crack the IAS exam. That desire should be there. That is the ambition, right? That is why you are here, and it is already clear. That is what you want to do, right? Now, what some of the people do is that they dilute their daily efforts, right? They compromise with the daily efforts. They keep daydreaming, thinking, and worrying, stressing out about the examination, which is in a far future, which hasn't taken place yet, right? In mind, it has taken place. So you're already worried about either failure or success, right? So now, when you go to mountaineering, right, the first thing they see is that don't look at the top of the peak, right? While climbing, you don't look, right? One step at a time. You have to develop that resilience, you have to develop that mindfulness, focusing on the present. That is extremely important in this examination. Anybody who doesn't do that, right? So you will lose focus, you will lose the balance, right? The tendency to get deviated, get distracted is very high when you are not focused on the present. So on a daily basis, your entire focus in the 24 hours, you can actually give 14 hours of focused preparation, right? So let me show you how, right? So there are 14 hours, 24 hours within that 14 hours, right? How many hours you sleep? 6, only 6. Assume 8 hours you sleep, right? Not 6, 8 hours you sleep. 24 minus 18, 8, 16. Okay. So 2 more hours for your, right? The things you do on a daily basis, like eating, right? Washing yourself, maybe going for half an hour walk also maybe, right? 2 hours is sufficient for your own time, right? So remaining hours are with you to do something what you want to achieve actually, right? They are very much, I am telling 8 hours sleep, right? I am not compromising with the sleep, right? Then 2 hours, it takes 10 minutes to have a breakfast, in my opinion. How much it takes for you? 10-15 minutes. Okay, good lunch, another 15-20 minutes, another dinner 15-20 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour to get fresh. I don't know how many hours you take bath, right? Reduce it to 5-10 minutes, right? You don't have to worry about minimum hygiene is enough here, right? So and then the remaining things, right? 1 hour maximum, take break in between 10-15 minutes, right? Maybe you can reduce sleep to 7 hours. Even then you can take 1 hour to exercise, to go for walk, to pursue your hobby, right? You actually have 14 hours, but 14 hours you cannot be totally focused. The mind is not prepared. Everyone sitting here, you haven't been in that kind of routine so far, right? You haven't developed tenacity. What is the meaning of tenacity? Hmm? No, tenacity. If you haven't developed the tenacity, hmm? What kind of ability? Look, tenacity. The quality of ತಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಬಾಯ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮಂಗೆ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ ಟೆನಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ being able to grip something firmly. So that is the tenacity, right? Tenacity is, sir, ಹೇಳಿ ಏನು ಅದು ಗ್ರಿಪ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮೀನಿಂಗು. ದ ಒನ್ ಯು ಸೆಡ್ ಇಸ್ very determined, right? So you haven't developed tenacity, strong determination. There is strong determination. Yes, I want to do IAS. Mentally, there is strong determination. You want to do UPSC. You want to crack this examination, but strong determination to implement, put it into action on a daily basis. That is not developed yet. So maximum you would have sat and studied continuously, maybe 4 hours, 6 hours, that too 1 week or 10 days before the examination, so far, right? Am I right? But throughout your 4 years engineering or 5.5 year medical, every day sitting 4 hours to 6 hours, anyone here? ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಪುಣ್ಯಾತ್ಮರು? Any exception here? No. You haven't done it, right? On a daily basis. Even when, there were no examinations, beginning of the semester, right? Middle of the semester. So I don't think you sat in a disciplined way, determined way, studied for 4 to 6 hours on a daily basis. So here, next, minimum 700 days, right? Not 365 days, minimum 700 days, you have to do that on a literally daily basis. But I would personally recommend you to take half day off or 1 day off in a week, half day, right? Only for, leisure. So every Sunday, half day, you go for a movie, you go for something, but half day break is at least required in a week. But rest of the week, you have to be determined, focused. You have to keep acting here, not acting on the stage, putting things into action, right? So action is very important. So doing things, sometimes it is boring, sometimes it is monotonous, but you have to keep doing. Sometimes you don't understand in one go, right? It requires repeated reading, repeated practice. You have to persist, you have to stay with it, right? So we call perseverance. It is not yielding result, but you are not giving up. You keep coming back, you keep working hard. So that tenacity, so that kind of quality you have to develop. You don't have it now, right? But that can be done instantly also, right? Or that can be developed over a period of year. Instantly, usually when somebody humiliates you, right? ಕರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯುಮಿಲಿಯೇಟ್ ಯು. ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? In that moment you will rage, right? When somebody humiliates, that somebody says very nasty things against your self-respect, right? Suddenly there is a rage that you want to do something, but I don't think it is going to be sustained. You start, in Kannada we call aramba shuratva, right? You start and then You have to take it forward, right? But there can be a strong internal motivation also. Internal motivation is very difficult to develop, right? It requires lots of understanding of yourself, lots of understanding of the purpose why you want to do something, right? Without doing that, we actually jump into something. Most of you are not sure or clear about why you want to become IAS, right? IAS ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು? ಸಮಾಜ ಸೇವೆಗೆ, ದೇಶ ಸೇವೆಗೆ. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಂಬಳ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಗೂಟದ ಕಾರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಪೃಥ್ವಿ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಪುನೀತ್ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ವೈ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ IAS? Those who have got clarity, like why you really want to become an IAS officer. Okay. So growing beyond his insecurities and then serve the nation also, serve the society also. Okay. So it's kind of more of personal development for you in the beginning, and then using that development to help others or help the society. Good. Authority and power which you get, right? That is, you are getting it, right? But why? Why you want authority and power? Help. Who is others here? People of this country. People of this country, it can be people of other country, Indian Foreign Service. Right. So, good. I mean, why purpose matters is that it is one of the biggest drivers of internal motivation. Right. The purpose, having clarity. So, you don't want to lead an ordinary life. Right. So, you want to elevate the quality of your life. You want to achieve that kind of status which will give you, your family, your community, your village, your state, all the respect they all deserve. You want to elevate, right? This is one of the tools of social mobility. This UPSC examination, social mobility is breaking the barriers of caste, class, everything which are imposed on you currently, from this position to moving to another better position, right? So in social status. So this is one of the tools, one of the medium that UPSC has, and one of the biggest in India currently. So it instantly gives you immense authority, power, which must be seen as responsibility. Rather than power and authority, it should be seen as immense responsibility, right? So you are selected through a fair process. And when it comes to UPSC, why I insist on UPSC whenever some people come and say that they want to do KS or any government job, UPSC, I believe, is the only institution in India standing still clean among all the institutions, because this process is totally fair. There is no manipulation, there is no any kind of interference, there is no corruption of any sort in the entire examination process. Everyone sitting here has an equal opportunity. Everyone sitting in this room, you have equal opportunity at cracking this examination. Now you have a goal here, to crack this UPSC examination. So all of you are standing at the base here, like zero. Now everyone is zero. Now how you start and how you maintain the momentum, how you build your capabilities, how you add lots of things to your personality, knowledge, skills, right? How you develop the understanding of everything entirely depends on you, your efforts, right? It is fair for everyone. It is fair for everyone. And the way examination is conducted, it is clock-like. So next year we know when is the prelims, next year we know when is the mains. There is predictability in terms of, there is certainty. There is certainty that it is going to happen for sure. So you are not preparing in the dark, you are not fighting against something invisible. It is there. Right? If they say 180 IAS, 180 IAS posts are there in the next year. 180 IPS, they are there. Now it is up to you, right? How well, how fast you go and grab those posts. They are there for everyone. So that is the nature of the competition. So we mentally, physically, we will not be thoroughly prepared for it when you start the journey, right? But the intelligence is, that is why I talked about two qualities. One is adaptability, right? So if you are intransigent and recalcitrant, something like that with respect to this examination preparation, you have to be flexible. You have to be flexible, you have to be adaptable, you have to learn on the go, you have to do simultaneously lots of things, right? Don't wait for something to end and then to finish. Second one is, that is what? Presenting and the focus. If you develop these qualities, because most of the people who come and complain about stress and see, the body responds to how the mind, functions. If the mind is healthy, if the mind is strong, the body is strong even when you don't do lots of physical stuff. But you have to do physical exercise, meditation and everything. But in general, I'm talking about mind is the root cause of so many, ill things, diseases and everything. The food here is same for everyone. All the PGs, all the available food in the hotels, largely hygienic and clean. But some people come and say that, my health got upset, right? Because of the food, I'm not able to live here. Because of the food, this and that. The same food many people are eating and they are strong also, right? Now, I believe it is not the food. Per se, the problem is not with the food, right? It is how you are preparing and how you are seeing the competition. If you are scared about the competition, right? If you are not confident about what you are doing, and then we start finding the excuses, complaining about everything, right? When we complain about others, we complain about something, finding excuses, only when we lack the confidence. When we are not doing things correctly, rightly, then we start blaming others. So you have to be aware about these things during your course of preparation, right? The moment you start feeling like blaming anyone, look inside, right? Things you are doing, are you doing correctly, right? So if it has derailed, there can be many reasons. So that is why mentors are there, I am there. You can always come and talk to us, right? So this UPSC, the way exam is designed, not only will learn, you will also develop your personality in a strong way. Have you heard stoicism in philosophy? STOICISM. They say stoic like. STOIC, stoic. What is the meaning of stoic? Be stoic like. Huh? No. STOIC, stoic. Good. Tell me once again. A person who can endure the pain without complaining. Matte? What are the other meanings you got? One who can be free of suffering. Okay. Difficult. Facing difficulties without complaining. You got it? That's what I'm telling. The single word is be stoic like. Right? You will come across so many issues, so many problems. Right? You have to learn from every problem, every difficulty, but never complain about it. Right? You have to, in fact, invite troubles, invite small failures, setbacks. They are your biggest opportunity. You would have read them in self-help books, listen to motivational talks. But now it is an opportunity for you to actually experience them in real time on a daily basis and become stoic like. So when you come to interview, like a stoic, 200 plus is guaranteed. Right? The 200 plus is guaranteed out of 275. By then you would have learned so many things, knowledge about everything, right? From moral philosophy to science and technology to environment to art and culture, history, geography, everything. Lots of current affairs. So the knowledge will be there, right? For your mind to process the knowledge, right? And synthesize a very good answer. You have to be calm and relaxed all the time, right? So now dealing with the life's troubles, which are going to be part of your life from now onwards, learning to deal with them will calm your mind, will help you handle any kind of pressure. And that is how this examination is designed. From day one to the day you reach interview, if you take everything in good stride, what is the meaning of taking things in good stride? Hmm? Taking sportively, we say, right? In positive way. Anything that happens, taking that in good stride, right? Means taking things positively. That will help you sail through all three stages of this examination effortlessly, without any stress. So we facilitate that kind of preparation at InsightsIAS. So in the orientation, why I'm focusing on this thing is that everyone, including everyone sitting here, are going to face variety of problems, and our doors are always open. We will always be there for you to come and share and instantly find solution about it. Sometimes what happens, just sharing is the solution. We don't have to say anything sometimes, right? You come, you share, and then the problem is gone actually, right? So, and we are here to hear all your issues and everything. So use the facility. Let us assume that you are sitting in your home, you want to take online classes, and because you cannot come to Bangalore, it's just assuming. Some of you are maybe listening online also. So you open the laptop, right? So then there is a live class. You listen to the class, you note down everything, all the concepts, everything that is taught, you understand, you pause and understand, you make notes. And when the class is over, what you are going to do? You'll read the notes, you'll read the textbook. If we give some assignment, you will try to solve those assignment, right? All from the comfort of your room, right? And then if there is any issue, then you're trying to deal on your own, because there is no one around you to talk or solve. Maybe you can speak to your parents or something, right? So now when you are in Bangalore, when in the offline class, right? So you come to the classroom and then you listen to our lectures, you make notes, right? You understand, and then you go to your room, read, write. Then again next day you come to classroom, listen to another lecture. Now tell me, what is the difference between online and offline then? What is the difference? Mentorship, communication, then comfort zone. Some kind of regulation, accountability is also there. Okay. Then environment is different. We can talk, we can have conversation like this. You can listen to what others are saying. Maybe you can learn from others. Yes. It's lively here, vibrant. It is Bengaluru. Orion Mall is nearby. No, that is also there. I asked you to go there every Sunday. There is nothing wrong in that. Concentration and effectiveness. Okay. Right. The major difference is that there are people here, the living, real physical people, for you to assist in every step. But the problem is that why I talked about these two differences, right, or comparison, is that most of the people are like robots, right? Those who come here, the thing you do online at home, you do in Bangalore. come to class, attend the class, go back to your room, and then next day you attend the class, listen to class, go back. You don't open your mouth in the classroom. You don't ask question in the classroom. You don't discuss issues of national, international importance, not personal issues with anyone. And very few of you actually make a effort to come till the third floor of this building, right? Meet a mentor, right? If at all somebody determines, yeah, I should go and meet a mentor, and then you see some 10 people are standing in the queue, "Will come tomorrow or some other day," right? You don't have the patience to stand because you are weak, right? So then we conduct offline tests in the classroom, right? So why come to offline and write? So online, right? Room in the institution is 100 kilometers away. So coming till here is a waste of lots of time, right? Walking. So you don't come. So you try to do on your own. As she said, comfort. When you try to do something from your comfort level, comfort zone, you tend to weaken your spirit. You tend to weaken your ability, right? So anything that is uncomfortable, anything that requires an extra effort, that is what actually makes you stoic like. That is what toughens you, makes you strong. The brain is rewired constantly when you actually put efforts, right? Whether it is thinking or whether you are doing, that is when I use the word resilience in the beginning. If you heard the word resilience, what is the meaning of resilience? Okay, can you check? Of course, we know in general what is the meaning of resilience, but what exactly is the meaning of resilience? Mental ability to recover quickly, ability to bounce back. Very good. Capacity to withstand. Yes. So that resilience, right? So that is developed only when you act, when you experiment, right? When you face things and somehow overcome them. So that resilience is very important. Through resilience, then you will achieve that mental calmness and stoic-like attitude. Because bouncing back is extremely difficult from whatever it is. Because I have seen variety of cases here. Some people go through certain illness. Again, not related to food or anything. Sometimes it happens. It can be fever. It can be cold, cough. It can be something severe also. So 1 week is gone. 1 month is gone. And how quickly you can bounce back, not just in terms of the health, but in terms of your preparation for the examination, right? So we get tied up with the past, we get stuck in the past, mainly because we always feel that you wasted lots of time and rest of the competition has moved on, right? You have to do lots of things to catch up. There is so much, piled up. You have to address all those issues. So we get held up by the things you haven't done, things which were not in your control, right? But you have to bounce back like quickly, right? Whatever it is, ability to move on quickly with the new things. If time permits, you try to do the things you missed. But that bouncing back is very important, right? So all these things you must, there is no you have to, you must develop. This examination is less about the knowledge, it is more about your personality. Understand this very clearly. Everyone will eventually finish the Indian polity part. Everyone will eventually understand every concept that is there in the Indian polity, right? Everyone eventually will develop the knowledge to solve all the questions in Indian polity, right? There is no discrimination here. You will actually develop that knowledge base. Now, when the time comes in the examination, right, applying that knowledge, right, is more of your personality in action, your mental attitude in action, not the knowledge itself. Right? That is the nature of the competition. Right? So you are the vehicle. Right? The sound engine, sound mind, sound body is extremely important. So now, at the cost of this, if you are merely learning, whether it is whatever kind of learning, rote learning, or hmm, only enhancing your knowledge thing, you are not going to crack this examination. I have seen walking encyclopedias in this exam. They can say, you ask any question, all the articles of the constitution, all the amendments made to the constitution, right, all the concepts related to geography, environment, they can say, but they keep failing at prelims examination. They keep failing multiple times in the examination. So there is this personality dimension. So that is where I am very proud about InsightsIAS. So we actually focus on this. We actually ensure when you come to show essay to me, you will see that it is not just mechanical thing. I just take your, without looking at your face, without talking to you, I don't just evaluate, give marks and send you away. We will have a conversation, right, about how are you, what you have been doing, how is your optional going on, right, and also about the essay. So how to further improve it, what is the the things, the thought process that was there writing before writing the essay, how did you overcome it. So these conversations over a period of year, right? So it should not be like guest appearance, you come once, you show, and then you vanish. It should be multiple times with your mentors, with your teachers, right, with me also whenever we are here. So it will develop in two things. One is, for you it is always a motivational dose. It will accountability, your accountability to someone. So the process is continued. Second one is, we will be able to understand you better, right? And I have known in this journey that the people who will go on to succeed in this examination from our classroom programs, they are the ones who are most familiar to us, the most familiar faces, right? We will be in fact able to predict your rank, predict your success in the examination, right? We develop that kind of understanding about your personality, about your quality of writing, about your ideas, everything. So that will give the confidence, because we are aware of the competition, right? So currently 2025, so how one should have written the mains answer, or how one should give the interview answer, we are aware about it, the quality of the competition, because of the interactive process, because regularly we interact with the students, right, on a daily basis throughout the year. Those we are interacting with, those who are new to the competition as well as old to the competition, right? So those who are new to the competition, they always bring something new to the competition in terms of new thinking, right, new knowledge, new examples, new way of writing, right, new way of solving problems. So on that basis, we have to guide the old ones and as well as the new ones based on the best that is there, right? So only through conversation it is going to happen, not through your YouTube videos, not through Telegram channel, not through conversation with somebody who has given mains or interview last year. They will also help to some extent, but the smart thing to do is to understand the present difficulty of the competition, what is the best in the competition, accordingly preparing. So you come and show essay, I won't be telling you based on the last year best essay, right, this year best essay that I have come across, right, would have would have broken, I would have came across the benchmark that was set last year, right? So would have been bettered the last year essay. So when we come across, we will tell and we will give marks accordingly. So that is the benchmark. So that is extremely important for current competition. Many people fail here because the standards are still the last year standards. So last year topper wrote answer like this in the optional essay, you download the copy, you're preparing according to the last year. That is still the base. There is nothing wrong with respect to that. But how the competition has evolved. since then, since last 1 year. So that is where mentors and teachers come into picture. So that is why at any cost, and see, this is something we insist here, right? It is not optional. I mean, we keep talking about you. We talking about this mentorship. We keep asking you to come and meet them. In many places, you don't see mentors and teachers. Even if you want to, you will never be able to meet them and talk to them, right? And people here will be waiting for you. So that is why, if you can make use of the mentorship on a regular basis and write all the tests, so then your journey is going to be really wonderful, right? And recently we conducted the Kannada Rajyotsava, right? We celebrated Kannada Rajyotsava. So we do those kind of stuff also. We believe in extracurricular activities, and extracurricular activity is must for every aspirant. It can be meditation, it can be walking, it can be jogging, sports, it can be reading fiction, non-fiction, writing something, journaling, diary writing, music, dance, whatever it is, right? Visiting temples or trekking, hiking. At least have one or two hobbies on a daily basis, right? Now the benefit is that will relax you. Secondly, it will improve focus, and benefit from the examination viewpoint is that you will have something to write in your detailed application form, right? Now everyone sitting here, maybe for you it is incomprehensible currently. To imagine, it may be very difficult for yourself to reaching the interview stage and giving the interview currently now. There is prelims, there is main, there is so much to do, right? Eventually you will reach that stage. Now the mains result came like some 20 days ago, right? Around, I think, November 10th, 15 days ago, the mains result came. And I keep getting messages on my WhatsApp also. People come and meet. Today afternoon also we have scheduled these DAP discussions with the students who have cleared the mains examination. So majority are still struggling to find out, right, what to write in the hobbies and interests extracurricular section, and also in achievements, scholarships, leadership roles, right? So it can be school captain, college kabaddi team captain, it can be anything, the leadership roles, but most importantly hobbies and interest, right? Largely I see almost 80% of them write the meditation, right? And then some kind of physical activity, physical fitness, gymming, walking, running, jogging, something like this. So some people write that, some people write cooking and all other stuff, but music, dance, writing, reading, right? Listening to music, used to write, we don't encourage now, everybody listens to music. Watching movies, right? But again, what kind of movies, right? Reading and writing largely absent. So my suggestion, one physical activity, right? Anything, where you walk, run, play something, have that. In addition to that, something about intellectual, right? Reading fiction or non-fiction, or writing about something, blogging, or it can be journaling. So if you develop this hobby parallelly from now onwards, right, in one attempt you can crack this examination. I truly mean it, right? So this is a very difficult thing, but now all of you are, I think, 21 to 24 largely, right? Minimum 21 degree ಮುಗಿಸಿರೋರು. So around 24 medical ಅದು ಇದು ಅಂತಂದು post graduation ಮಾಡಿರೋಂಥವ್ರು. So now we are looking at minimum 35 years of public service if you crack this examination in next 2 to 3 years, right? So 2 to 3 years in the entire lifespan of yours, right? So this is the peak years in terms of the efforts you have put so far, right? If you graph it, so far it has been okay, on and off, on and off. Some of you might have got gold medal and all in PUC and all, but anyway, allela expected question bartittu ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, right? So that is not like your peak PUC nalli ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ. Here So it can be like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, right? And then, of course, there is another peak with respect to service and all, peak in terms of success, but in terms of efforts, I'm saying, right? Now, just imagine these 2 to 3 years of efforts, the best efforts you can put so far, right? To the best of your ability will ensure that the next 35, 40, 50 years in your life is going to be hmm, super good, like for you, your family, for everyone. You should not lose that focus, right? So these 3 years, you should peak every day. The kind of effort you put day in and out, never losing the focus, right? You should go on and on and on and exponentially, right? So peaking is when you see your list, your name in the final list, right? So here we have that infrastructure, facility, everything is available. We are somebody who have given all India rank one, right? Through classroom programs, right? Successfully, like top 10, we have got so many good students. And it's all about these qualities. So when I'm talking anything here, it is not born out of some books or anything. It is purely based on the experience as well as the observation that we have seen. So, so we have got that unique advantage, in terms of attracting good quality students, having interacted with them n number of times. When I'm going to start mock interviews, so recently I did this interview guidance session. So I do 5 to 6 mock interviews one-on-one with a candidate who has cleared the mains. So that gives us so much opportunity to look into their personality, understand how they were able to succeed in these 2 stages and how they are going to succeed in the interview stage. So we keep passing on those insights, passing on those wisdom to people who keep coming and who talk to us on a regular basis. So this is the core of the entire orientation session, right? Rest, you be assured regarding the quality of the classes, the guidance, answer rating, right? It is you. Now coming to the guidance part, because you're starting in the November, my suggestion is that 2027 should be your first attempt. Those who are from the science, engineering, and medical background, you can apply for the Indian Forest Service next year if you want to get the experience about prelims. Right? So your civil service attempt will be saved. Your civil service attempt will be saved. You will still have 6 attempts if you come under general category or whichever category. Right? So when you write in 2027, that is going to be your first attempt in civil service. But here we are going to complete almost 90% of the syllabus by April end for you, maybe excluding some of the mains topics for your batch, the last batch of this year. So some of you might develop confidence of cracking the prelims, right? But my suggestion is that don't do optional now, right? As I was talking earlier, the foundation must be very strong. That to GS foundation, including the essay paper. So if that is solid, then you can do optional, right? So ideally March to July, March, April, May, June, July, like around 5 months, do the optional. Now remove the thought of doing optional now. So now without optional, you might develop confidence of clearing the prelims. So attempt the prelims, right? But forest service. But if you want to just go with the civil service attempt also, if you are sure about cracking the prelims, go and attempt it without optional preparation also. At least you will get to know the mains experience, right? But without having the confidence of cracking prelims, right? So only experience for a service attempt you can do, but don't waste your attempts, right? Don't think that you have 6 attempts, you have 7, 9 unlimited attempts. Don't see from that angle. Your ambition must be to crack this examination within 2 attempts, right? Within 2 attempts, you must crack this examination. So for that, save your time, prepare. So all the qualities which we discussed in the orientation, develop them, right? So slowly, steadily, you develop, because that is what determines in the last few months, right? In the subsequent attempt, what you are going to do this 1 year determines everything, how you are going to succeed in next attempts. If this is weak, the cycle keeps repeating. The same weak cycle keeps repeating. Are you getting this point? So if the preparation is weak currently, without focusing on the fundamentals, without building a strong foundation, if you complete the cycle, right, next attempt, you will not have patience, you will not have, the mental uh, attitude to again start from the basic and build the foundation. It requires lots of patience to do that, right? And then there will be some amount of ego will be there again to start from the scratch and to do it again. And then there is time is running out of you. The people around you would have moved on, got into some jobs, and a comparison will be there. So that is why this is your best moment. So first 1 year, if you build everything solidly, so next subsequent attempt, you will see that in one attempt you will clear prelims, then mains, and then eventually interview. And whenever people come for DAF discussion, these are the people who never gave up, right? They never gave up. So among all those people who are sitting here, 90% will filter out. After like 2 years, 90% of you will go somewhere. I don't know where you will go. Some jobs, some private job, some any government job you get. Because you are all in urgency to get some kind of job because of circumstances back home. I understand. There may be urgency to get some job. Right. So what you will do, eventually you will filter out. Some of you, because of the fear, self-doubt, right? Everything I talked about, opposed to all the things I talked about, you will eventually, face these things, develop, and then you will go on. The people who remain in the end, right? It is them, those who never give up, with or without job, whatever it is, right? So mostly without job. And then in between they do some jobs and they come back, they leave it and come back. They keep experimenting. But largely the focus is on the examination, and I see without any kind of failure, without any kind of, it's kind of recurring phenomenon, right? Cyclical. So they clear prelims, they clear mains, and they clear interview. If they fail at interview or mains in this attempt, then they will give again, and I see them cracking. If they again fail in that attempt, if they don't give, the chances of them cracking this examination is very high in another attempt. So that is what all about, your mental toughness, tenacity, resilience, which we discussed about. But that will still give you 30 plus years of what? Service, top level, UPSC, IAS, IPS. Now, if you think that, okay, FDA I got, SDA I cracked, bank exam I cracked. Recently, last week, there was a student like 2 years ago, he was doing great. Like he writes essay wonderfully well. And he got into this Karnataka bank PO. He cleared. So he was supposed to get, go to Chhattisgarh and join. I think this week he had to join. And I made him not to join. Right. Because I believed in him, because I know the quality of writing. It's okay. You can blame me. I don't care. But keep giving this examination. Right. The parents were okay. I mean, they were not very poor or anything. They were able to afford his, stay here, food accommodation. Something I did. I left PDO, I left KPSC, KS, everything. Right. You have to keep taking risks. Right. The moment, if I was PDO, Panchayat Development Officer, that was the Group C job when I got while preparing for the UPSC. Today I would be assistant, no, executive officer, the next promotion in one of the taluks in some corner of the Karnataka. Right. Forget about InsightsIAS institution. Forget about everything, whatever we have done. Right. Zero. Got it. So there are people like that. So who left yesterday? In fact, I met one of the toppers. There was this. I am from Navodaya school, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya. So there was this Navodaya Habba. All the JNV students we gathered together, and surprisingly, one just came and like he hugged me. So I saw, oh, you Kiran. So he was my student in 2014, 15, 16 here in InsightsIAS, and he was my Navodaya junior also. And in his last attempt, sixth attempt, he gave 3 interviews, 5 mains, but in sixth attempt he got all India rank 310. Right? Because of the height issue, he didn't get IPS, but he got IRS income tax. He's currently DC income tax, IRS IT in Bangalore. So he had got job in SBI by cracking the PO exam. I remember I had asked him to quit the job. Only when he quit the job, before his last sixth attempt, he was able to crack this examination. And if he had continued with the SBI PO, he would be still manager of some SBI branch. There are like, I think, lakhs of branches, I think, hundreds of thousands of SBI branches. Right? So these are very important for success. But in all these years, whatever experiments you're doing, you have to keep learning, keep evolving, right? So that's very important. And for some people, it's a big achievement, getting some government job, right? So then don't come into UPSC. If that was your aim, that is why you have to have the clarity, right? This exam provides equal opportunity for everyone. So we alpa trupti anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ in Kannada, so getting satisfied with something small. Our parents used to be like that. Primary school teacher, big achievement. By end of their career, they will build home, and then their only main goal is to give good education to the children, and then through them see some other success, something like that. But your generation is your Gen Z generation. All of you are born after 2000, right? So you are very ambitious. So your generation expects things very fast, right? So you expect quality, right? And you expect lots of self-respect, right? Your 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 ego is very high, right? So self-respect, that's good. And you are restless, your generation. But UPSC is not like that. UPSC is not Gen Z UPSC, right? So you have to mold yourself according to the UPSC. Nothing is fast here, right? No shortcut. You should not be restless here. Self-respect, yes, of course, that is there. Quality, of course, we will give you, and that should be an expectation. But you have to ask yourself, you have to look into yourself again and again and again, right? So we see that some people regarding optional, I want to take mathematics because I've done BSc mathematics, or I'm good with the computer science and my mathematics was good. And we tell you mathematics doesn't work in the UPSC unless you have gained lots of expertise, mastery in the subject before coming here, right? So if you have already completed maths, then it makes sense to take mathematics as the optional. But they are like very stubborn. What is the word for stubborn? No, for stubborn it is intransigence. Recalcitrant is not obeying the authority or something like that. With respect to views, with respect to this. So some people are like intransigent, with respect to optional. No, they tell themselves. And at this age, you will have that little arrogance and little strong self-belief that you are good with something. But you don't know the trend of the examination. You will say that I'll go with zoology, botany, maths, something like that. And when we are telling you something, you have to accept that is for your good only, right? What we want is your success. So you have to change the mindset. And when we say this optional is not good, you have to listen to us and you have to impose your faith in us, and then you will change your attitude, the decision also. Some people don't do that, right? Especially this generation. Only after tasting successful failures, after like 3, 4, 5 years, they come back and then they show gratitude, accept. show the regret. So one wrong optional will waste minimum 4 to 5 years of your prime years, right? One wrong optional. So be careful with the which optional you want to go. There are, for example, if you want to go with the history optional, right? You should have done history from a highly reputed humanities university or institution in India, that too at honors level. You have done BA honors in history from Lady Shriram College, from Delhi University, then okay, there is a scope. Again, that also requires lots of reading, practicing, mentorship, guidance, and everything. But if you have done from government first grade college, political science and history, and you think you have got lots of interest in history, and all the history you have read is very basic history, right? Then definitely no, right? Go with something that you can actually learn now. So political science, sociology, Kannada literature, anthropology, right? To some extent geography, to some extent public administration. These are the optionals we usually recommend. Other optionals you can take only if you have already gained mastery over those subjects during your academics, graduation years. But you cannot spend half of your day in mastering mathematics now. Right? Does it make sense? Where you should be spending more of your time? GS. Right? Mainly because everyone, there's no exception here, everyone sitting in this room haven't read any single English newspaper for past 2 years consistently. Forget about 2 years. I can say even confidently 99% here, even past 2 days. Any English paper, especially the Hindu, I don't think anyone sitting here has been reading the Hindu newspaper for past few days also. You want to start after the orientation or after joining the coaching. There are people in this room like that. In every batch they are there. In every part of India there are people like that. Right? Don't be ashamed about this. Right? There is nothing new about it. So your understanding of the current affairs is literally zero. Your GS knowledge is literally zero. So the most part of your day, the time must go in strengthening this aspect. Understanding news, understanding editorials, building the GS base. Now optional, irrespective of how good you are, is difficult to cross 300 marks. Right? Out of 500, extremely difficult to cross 300 marks in the optional subject. You are aware about it, right? So don't spend too much time on the optional. So you should go with that optional where with minimum time you can understand, and also remember, and you can use that knowledge. So if you take this technical subject like zoology, botany, in all the GS papers, zero application, right? In prelims, zero application, all these professional subjects. So you'll be weakening the GS and the current affairs base. As I said, if the base is weak, doesn't matter how good you are in your optional, you will never get an opportunity to face your optional papers in this examination, because prelims is very difficult, cracking prelims with weak GS and current affairs base. So that is why be very judicious, be very careful when you take up the optional. So consult us. For your batch, you have 3 months of time to consult, right? And you can sit in few demo classes. So you can go to sociology class, you can go to polity class, anthro classes, Kannada literature, right? And if you have interest in geography or something, you can listen to those classes. So then you take a final call, right? Just because you come from certain background, don't jump to it. It's very dangerous. And preparing for UPSC will definitely prepare you for the KPSC examination, right? So how many of you want to write KPSC exam here? ಅದು ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ. KPSC you should write, but without preparing for the KPSC or APPSC, MPPSC, whatever it is. Right? What some people do is that, let us say that you started your preparation. After 6 months of OGP preparation, KPSC notification will come. We are hiring assistant commissioners, DYSPs, like 300 posts. Now, majority what they do, they stop UPSC preparation. Suddenly they start KPSC preparation. Now, starting with the KPSC preparation means what? Downgrading your preparation. Right? So, you start reading Karnataka history, geography. That is all same only. Karnataka geography is not different, only names are different. If you study how Ganga river originates, how it flows, what are the landforms it creates, same with the Krishna river, same with the other river, maybe the geography might change a little bit, but the fundamentals are same. The names will be different. Now these people are like, no, I have to crack the KPSC examination. No, I will pass the UPSC. So they'll stop writing answers for UPSC. They'll stop writing essays. They'll stop preparing for UPSC optional or whatever it is. And then they spend 6 months to 1 year in the KPSC preparation. Right? And KPSC is such that it doesn't conduct exams on time. So its habit is to delay the examinations. So give some, there are always errors, there are always mistakes in the way examination is conducted. So it gives so much opportunity for people to go to court, so many cases against it. So once you come down, spend time there, 6 months to 1 year, that actually gets prolonged to 2 to 3 years. Right? And then to come back to UPSC, the way you are currently now, right? It will be like that. After spending 1 year or even 6 months in KPSC, to come back to UPSC, it will be very difficult. So my suggestion is that apply for KPSC, write KPSC examination, but without ever coming down. Right? You are preparing for UPSC, keep preparing for UPSC. So when they finally conduct preliminary examination, just walk into the hall, give the examination and come back. More likely you are going to pass the preliminary examination. Right? Barring some 15-20 questions related to Karnataka, everything will be what we have studied in the UPSC. Right? So you will definitely crack the examination. Same with the mains. Now you don't have to join separate classes for KPSC. Nothing. Even if you don't study something related to Karnataka, you can still do well in the mains. So those people who wrote KPSC mains this year, when we ask, did you have to study separately for KPSC? They were like, no. Right? We didn't have to study separately for KPSC. So everything we studied as part of the OGP and UPSC, it was there. They will tell everything related to polity was there in Manjunath sir notes, Sudeep sir notes, something like that. So remember this. This is very important. So don't downgrade your preparation. It should always be going up and up exponentially. This is very important because the time is something that you will never get back. And it's not about getting back the time, it is getting back the energy. The focus is very extremely difficult. So that is why the decisions are very important. Even after saying all these things, people keep experimenting. Right? So you have to be wise in this entire preparation. So lastly, here at InsightsIAS, we take interview also very seriously. Now you clear prelims, you clear mains, but when the interview comes, right, your head is full of knowledge, your brain, everything is there in your brain, but you don't know how to communicate, how to talk, how to express, how to articulate, right, your ideas, arguments, thoughts. You have to prioritize your points, organize them coherently, then you have to effectively articulate. So there is this word in the notification, right? Clear and logical exposition, right? That means clearly, logically, you have to articulate. Exposition is talking, right? Express your views. So that is something most of the people don't focus on, right? So for that, my suggestion is that make a group of 2 to 3 people, right? On a daily basis, discuss the issues, right? We also conduct now and then pick and speak kind of competitions, some debating competitions. We do that, and having conversation with mentors will also help. When you meet mentors, so try to articulate effectively, right? Be confident. So try to talk confidently, right? Only collectively when you take into consideration all these things, so then only you are totally prepared for the examination. Because I see again, they clear mains, but in interview, the marks are like 150, 155, 160, right? The target is 190 plus in the interview out of 275. And in mains, the target must be 800 plus from all the papers. 863 was the highest marks last year. So your target must be 800 plus to be there in the top 100. 800 plus in the mains and around 170 plus in the interview will give you IAS or IPS, whichever category. So that is the target. So 800 plus in mains comes from 130 plus in essay, right? Around 100 in the GS1. You can just note down the marks. Just tell me the sum of these marks. 130 essay, 100 in GS1, okay, 110 in GS2, 90 in GS3. Almost nobody scores 100 plus in GS3 mains. 90 in GS3, 120 in ethics, 260 in optional. Huh? 810. So now highest marks in essay usually around 140. Now I have given 10 marks less there. The target is 10 less there. Ethics also somewhere people score around 135 to 140. So around 15 to 20 marks less target, right? GS1 again scoring 90 and above is very difficult, but 100 many people have scored in the toppers, right? GS2 till 120 have scored. I have given on an average I have given 10 marks less in each paper, right? So it means another additional 40-50 marks. So where we can get the highest marks. So to reach that ability, so 130 plus in essay, your target must be by next year, end of next year, by next October, November or December, by next mains or by next end of the year, minimum 30 essays you should write. Minimum 30 essays, and you must show all those essays to either to me or to Umesh sir or to your mentor, right? So you can start with the mentor, then come to Umesh sir. When you gain more confident that you are writing better, you can come to me also, right? So that is the number of essays, and overall GS 1, 2, 3, right? So the number of answers must be minimum 600, 200 each in each paper, right? 200 answers, question and answers in each paper. So by next year mains, that should be the target. So how many months you have till next mains? No, next year mains. Next year mains is in again August. Around 10 months, right? 10 months, how many days? 300 days. So on an average, 2 answers every day, right? It is 600. But again, even when you write only 1 answer some days, weekly you are going to write some 4 to 5 answers in the test, right? And at the end of every subject, you are going to write 20 question full length test. So there again, you are going to answer some 10, 12 answers. So even if you keep at least minimum 1 answer, it is around 300 answers. With all the test combined, somewhere around 400 answers, but with extra effort, right? So if you start writing 2 answers on a daily basis, we have initiative called Secure Initiative on our website. So daily we give current affair editorial questions. From editorial, we frame questions and we give them as part of the initiative where you can read the editorial, understand, and try to answer the question. So it's a very lengthy process. For a beginner, it will take 2 hours to answer one question in our secure initiative. But if you persist, if you keep doing that, after a few months, you will be able to write one answer within 20 minutes by reading article, understanding. And the nature of all these issues is that they will keep repeating. Most of the current affair issues, either they keep repeating or keep evolving, right? So for example, yesterday it was in news, Supreme Court judgment that the governor or the president can keep any bills sent to them as long as they wish, right? So there is no time limitation. When either state legislature or parliament they pass a certain bill, right? So they are sent to the assent of the governor or the president. So there is no time limit that they can keep it for 30 days, 2 months, 6 months, or even for 1 year. It is up to the wisdom of the authority. They are the constitutional figures. It is there in the constitution. There is no time limit. So Supreme Court said it cannot intervene with respect to this, right? So now we might have given a question on this in the editorial, right? The class is not done for you, the polity, right? But you have to read on your own, right? Understand, and then try to answer question on this particular subject. So we cover it in the secure initiative, right? So this is something out of curiosity. You have to. So why did I take this example? No, why did I go with this example? My argument was not related to this. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this issue, on this issue, there may be editorial. That the editorial might agree with the Supreme Court or might disagree with the Supreme Court. So what happens? Some of the governors to ensure that some of the good legislations are not put into action, put into policies, they withhold them. Right? There is a political motivation. Right? So if this goes through, the state government will do well. Right? There will be lots of popular support. It might get re-elected. Right? They have to be neutral, the governors. Sometimes they work as the agents of the union government. Doesn't matter which government is there in the power, in the union. So there can be yes opinion, no opinion. They might have given lots of reasonings. So we would have framed question on that, whether you like it or don't like it, whether polity is finished or not finished. So if we can take up that question and start answering, that is the extra effort I was talking about. So eventually these issues, again it will reflect. The argument was this repeat actually. So regarding the role of the governor, right? After a few months you will see another issue, right? With respect to something else, right? Their ability to appoint vice chancellors to universities or something. But the governor issue is there. Now if you have gained understanding with respect to one of the roles of the governor, after a few days you will add another role of the governor, right? And then there comes a point, it keeps repeating. So on a daily basis, if you keep a close watch eye on the current affairs, after 1 year you will see that most of the events you already are aware about, the basics and everything. It is just that you need to slightly update them. But if you don't do all these things, only you are focused on the static things, every current affair will appear as new current affair all the time. Got it? So try to write one answer, but go through all the questions in the secure initiative. See, when people come and wait here for to talk to mentors and to show me essay, sometimes they wait for 1 hour or 2 hours. And you know what they do during that 1 hour, 2 hours? No, they just wait. They don't do anything. They are just restless. They want their answer to be evaluated, essay to be evaluated. But in the meantime, they don't do anything. Right? And I believe they would have written one more essay. They would have written 3-4 answers. They would have solved some 50 MCQs. Right? You're getting the point. So every minute, every hour of your day, you have to make them more productive. And I keep telling, this is not hospital, where you are a patient. ಈಗ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬೈಬೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ನೋವು ಮೈಕೈ ನೋವು ಇದ್ದಾಗ then it is understandable you have an emergency. So when you have to wait for 1 or 2 hours, it is painful. But when you are normal, right, this is UPSC, when you are waiting 1 hour to meet someone, that 1 hour is a time where you can learn so many things, right? So that attitude you have to develop. And even while having lunch or dinner, you can listen to good podcast also, right? Some about issues related to UPSC, right? So every minute can be optimally utilized for this preparation. So only with that kind of attitude you are going to crack this examination. And when you crack, this is a different story. You become inspiration to others in your family, in your village, in your hometown, and you will become the agents of social change. You will inspire so many people to get good education, right? And they will be highly motivated, right? Because of the path you have created. So there are so many positives of this preparation, and all the knowledge you are going to get. Let us assume after 2-3 years you lose interest here, and you find another good opportunity. So there you will actually shine. You will do a lot better in whichever field you choose. So there is nothing that you are going to lose. So everything is gain in terms of personality, in terms of knowledge, everything. So everything you see from the optimistic, positive perspective, and start with a smile, start with a good energy, right? Start with excitement, and always have this curiosity at the heart of this preparation. Okay. So wish you all the best. And once again, welcome to InsightsIAS. And with all the confidence and all the humility, I will say that you are in the right place. And the value of this place, you will only appreciate when you use this place and use the resources here. The more you make use of us, the more you will appreciate. Right? So, thank you, all the best. So, if you have any doubts, you can ask. So, 5 minutes, we can discuss if you have any doubts. Any doubts? Any doubts related to examination? So again, you would have applied with some optional, right? Before prelims, you have to mention the optional. Again, you cannot change that post prelims. Let us say, which is your optional, which optional you want to take? Okay. So then you must give a serious attempt for the mains. So what you should do, try to read basics of anthropology for 10-15 days, like spending 5-6 hours, and then do the reverse engineering. So take 10 years PYQs, prepare notes for all the 10-year PYQs, and then remaining things you would have done here, GS part. So then join the GS test series, give your best, but give mains. You must give mains. Only 2.5 months gap will be there, right? So doing optional, even if it is a hurried manner, some base is there, and GS, right? That will give you an opportunity to test in the real time in the mains how we are doing. So you should give serious attempt. Any other doubt? See, we give questions every day. All the teachers will give you, and there are PYQs. So your routine should be, after one subject gets over in the class, go back, read from the basics, right? NCERT textbooks, and then attempt NCERT questions that are there in the back of the chapter, and then open the PYQs, both prelims and mains. So even if you don't write answer, at least brainstorm. think what could be the answer. Refer back to notes, refer back to the book. Ideally, you should attempt a question and try to answer. And at least some 20 MCQs you should solve about that particular topic on that day. So keep repeating the process. Daily application of knowledge is very important, right? So that will help you improve your score in weekly test, daily practice. So daily practice, if it is not there, weekly test you won't perform well. Eventually you will stop giving the weekly test, right? And the basics is very important. Keep going back to basics again and again and again. Every topic, every subject. And in fact, I would recommend reading NCERT not 2-3 times, at least 4 to 5 times during the course of next 1 year. You have to keep until all your concepts are crystal clear, right? Every subject, geography, polity, economy, all concepts are crystal clear. So NCERT concepts, if they are crystal clear, then your foundation is strong. Okay. Thank you. All the best.